Oh, what up, guys? Gonna be helping out Robo with some Terran. We'll get there in a little bit. How we doing? How we doing? Cool. So, just waiting a little bit. He's gonna grab some coffee, and then we'll start going. Get everything loaded. Robin O'Prime, perfect. Let me pause this game. Pull up production. Let's go to the right thing. Boom, here we go. Alright, so one of the things I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go to your vision, and we're only gonna look at what you can see, and we'll kinda judge some things off that. Of course we'll have production, we'll see what our opponent's doing, but we'll pretend like we can't see that. I'll try to look at stuff like money, income, some strategic stuff, but I don't know crisp builds. I know general concepts, so we'll see how this goes. Let's start the game. Hoo-hoo, got the good luck, have fun before your opponent. Nice. We'll follow your camera. Is that camera hotkey? So sweet. Yep, man, camera hotkeys. Okay, cool. Perfect.
SCV ready.
We're going straight off barracks before gas. It's totally fine.
Additional supply depots required.
Yeah, no, totally. I don't even use camera hotkeys. Like, it's definitely, if you use them, it's definitely best. Even if it's just jumping to drops and stuff. I just don't really have space on my keyboard for it. It's really a bad excuse. So we got SCV Scout going across the map, which is good. Gas is good. We're gonna see an Overlord on the mini-map. Yep, and you check it, make sure it's an Overlord. Cool. Drones coming across the map, which is a little awkward. Usually I don't see a drone scout, but that's fine. Hatch first. Should see gas and pool, that's what you're really looking for. And then the expand, cool. So just looking at the mini-map, so you get pool then gas, okay. So he's not going to be able to put on a ton of pressure against you. That's good to know. His speed is going to be a little delayed. He's probably going to finish around 345, I'd say. 340, opposed to 330 because he did go for the pool first. Or pool before gas anyway.
Command center upgrade complete.
So that's alright. Reaper's coming out. We'll see what the Reaper does. Reaper really wants to look for third base more than anything else. But you also want to see tech, if there's going to be a Bailing Nest, if there's going to be a Roach Warren, if there's going to be an early lair or something. But really what you're looking for is the third base, and the timing of that. Factory going down, everything looks crisp so far. Assuming you're going to go for some, actually I don't know, could be 2-on-1, could be a little bit of Hellion pressure. Probably not Hellion pressure because you're not getting the add-on on the barracks. So we get a safety depot. I think that's totally fine. Checking drone count. That's good. No queen out yet.
This better be good.
What happens at home while you're doing this? You are still making SCVs. That's good. Sometimes when people go to micro their Reaper, they micro a little bit too much. Like here, you're not going to get anything done. Just go check for the third. And they don't do stuff at home, but you're still producing at home, which is great. So no complaints there. Yeah, so 2-1 it looks like. I think at this point you know that barracks isn't really necessary. You could probably salvage that and add another barracks a little earlier. But what do you got?
Add-on complete.
Cloak Banshee going on? Is that's what's happening?
Command center upgrade complete.
No, I'm just going tank. Okay. Unfortunately, let him get that that Nat here. 330. That's link speed should be done. It's not gonna be for him, I don't think. I'm just gonna check. No, link speed's not done because we saw that he went for the gas late. What I like is if you just leave the Reaper right here, like right where it's gonna be, then you don't even have to like pay attention. And sometimes the drone will just wander over and die. You'll be able to completely stop it. You know, sometimes lings will come over. Yes, usually your timing at 3:30. You want to kind of know that. But if so, you can kind of run away. Yeah, just hold position. Because otherwise, like a ling could run it off and then it comes here. If you're paying attention, you can do that, but I don't know if it's really worth the dedicated mindset at that point. But this is not the end of the world. I mean, just if you can keep this away, that's good. The other thing with this, since these don't have speed, I would love to see it just dive in and just see if it can find any tech. You know, he went for later gas. You expect link speed to be researching now and almost done, which it is, but we don't know that. We want to make sure there's no like Roach Warren. Now we're going to see on the production tab there's a Roach Warren. You don't know this. This is like normal timing for a Roach Warren, but you don't know necessarily that link speed has started because you've never seen this wiggle. And so there technically could be like a Roach Warren, like sitting back here, even right here. And there could be like roaches on the way right now, or getting close. But nothing of the world.
SCV ready.
Nice job picking that off. Only a tank being made right now, and then one SCV. Maybe a little bit too much micro here. Yeah, you keep the Reaper, but like producing stuff is sometimes just more important.
SCV ready.
Okay. So this is an interesting choice, just strategically, and I'm not a Terran, so take this from my non-Terran mindset. This add-on right here feels like it's really delaying everything, whereas if you could have built it from another building to get it, it would have been great. This is kind of where the early bunker, after you notice that it was a late gas, comes in. If you could have noticed that and then not made this, or even salvaged it, that allows you to build another barracks. And even if you don't use the barracks right off, I don't know if you're going mech in this or not yet, but even if you, whatever you did or are going to do, it would have given you another structure to kind of just build a add-on to. And then you could have just floated to it, which just would have been faster. Other things I like, good time third base, making sure not to fall behind that way. You had your first tank come out. It's going to siege up here pretty soon. You've already telling it to go there. What do we have otherwise? Workers, 29 to 38 workers. That's going to be a little unfortunate because that's a lot of extra workers for the Zerg. Zerg is going to have more workers. Like, there's nothing you can do about that. That's why you have mules, and it's just kind of how their economy works early game. But little bit behind where you probably want to be. We'll go back to production. I'm just thinking some of this stuff. Get 275 kind of sitting here. Now we haven't started our next tank yet, which could very well take up most of that once we hit, what is it, 100 gas? I think it's 100 gas, but this just seems delayed to me.
SCV ready.
Still going to play off your vision. This is going to be the tough part because you didn't get
Add-on
in
complete.
again with the Reaper. You don't know anything. You know there's a third base being built, but that's really it.
SCV ready.
Not a terrible idea to burn a scan at some point, but obviously mules are incredibly early and important in the early games. You probably don't want to do
Add-on
that yet.
complete.
He's
SCV
gonna sack
ready.
that. That's fine. I'm just gonna mute this just so it's not super loud. So now we have Cloak Banshee on the way, and then we swap this. Okay, yeah. So let me pause for a second. We're gonna talk a little bit about plan and what are we trying to do here. Boom, boom, boom. Let's go to the classroom. No one showed up to class today. Shit. Anyway, when you're thinking about when you get into a game, I think one of the most important things is to kind of have what your plan is. How do you want to win the game? So we have a few different things going on. Really defensive opening into a Cloak Banshee. This kind of makes a little bit of sense. You end up delaying the Cloak Banshee with how much defense you're doing, especially with getting the tank out as well. So you're giving them a better chance of being prepared for this, because they might just naturally have a lair anyway. But I like going somewhat defensive into a Cloak Banshee if you want to, especially because this Banshee is going to be your scouting. This is what's going to get that. If that's what your plan is try to expand, take a third behind a Cloak Banshee, use the Banshee to scout, and then react to what your opponent's doing. What I don't want to hear is you got two things going on that don't really make a lot of sense with each other. First off is first making three Marines, putting them in a bunker, and then switching over to Hellion after. I think these Hellions are really effective if you want to go for more of an early style where you make this one Reaper out of the barracks, then you make the reactor on the barracks, and as soon as that's done, you just switch these. We skip the bunker, and then it's really important that you keep this alive and get information because you'll have to pivot off if they're going for an all-in or something. But getting these two early Hellions, or really 4 early Hellions, if you're able to get those, you will be able to get them, is just so vital in getting map control early. It'll also push back creep because they really can't push creep too easily if you have Hellions that keep pushing in. Sometimes they just die if you get into the mineral lines. But what it does is, obviously you're not making Hellions to kill them. You're making Hellions so they can't attack you. They're not going to be able to run across the map with a whole bunch of Lings if you have Hellions kind of poking around the outside of their base. So I think getting this much earlier, delay the Marines, delay the bunker, because early Hellions accomplish the same thing, where it just says, hey, I'm not going to die to an early Ling pressure, and that allows you to get your starport and your cloak earlier. You're still going to be about the same time with your command center, which is fine, but this is able to get a quicker scout off, and it's also potentially going to do a little bit more damage. And then behind it you can do kind of whatever. But I think switching that around allows you to have a quicker Cloak Banshee and also have more pressure in their face. And the pressure, not to try to kill them, but the pressure just, it makes it so you can't get counterattacked. Now the one thing that's really important is this Reaper, or even the SCV Scout. If you see like pool first, I would say fuck it. Like 3 roach is not a normal opener, but there is some kind of roach all in. So if I go across this map and I see pool before hatch at all, I probably don't build this on the low ground. I build it on the high ground, and instead of a quick switch. I made a couple of safety marines first. I think that's important. The other thing with the Hellions, you don't get this tank, which saves you a ton of gas early on for this to be quicker. That's just how it lines up. We'll continue because this is not the end of the game. This is not anything crazy. I just think you'll be in a little bit better position. You'll notice that you're a little bit behind on workers still, I believe. Doing a decent job catching up actually, based on where we were earlier, but a little bit of crispying that up, and you actually do force a little bit more lings out early with the Hellions instead of allowing him to drone constantly. Unfortunately, he's going to see this Banshee. That's fine. This is just checking for a 4th base. Okay, I don't hate that. And then just waiting for Cloak. And Cloak, it'll be done now. Now? That takes forever. Alright. So we'll see. Every second this sits here is time that allows them to prepare, especially after they saw it. But you think if this hits at 6 minutes, when it could have hit at 4 minutes with the build differential and a little bit more reaction, you could do a little better with it. Now I'm gonna pause. Yeah, he's gonna have this up, so you're not gonna be able to do much. I love this multi-prong though. Sometimes when you don't even micro things, just send one side in, micro the other side for a little bit, maybe check it out, do whatever you need to do. But I like hitting it both sides at once. Like a lot of times, if they go focus on this Banshee, you can just kill every one of these drones with the Hellions. Or vice versa, if they go to deal with the Hellions, and there's no Spore Crawler here, you can just kill all of these drones. So I really like that multi-prong. I love that you're trying to get an expansion behind this. Now, this is where it's going to be incredibly difficult, because you want to focus on this, you want to focus on this, you also want to be able to clear this drone. This is where sometimes you just don't micro. You say, what's the most important thing? Maybe just check, okay. Grab, a move, check, whatever. You'll see this is going to be the thing you have to address early, just because it's getting hit by that. This isn't going to do anything, so you're just going to have to pull it back. You do. And now, what is going on here? Oh, I see. So let's back that up. That's unfortunate. What you have going on here is you're going to A-move the ground, probably well before you've even seen any of these, and then you're going to A-move shift attack the drones. That kind of makes sense, but what you're going to notice is since this queen comes into fray, they haven't finished that first attack move over towards here, so they're just going to start attacking the queen instead of getting to the drones. What I would do instead is just right-click, do a move command, or if you want to like attack move to here, shift move command, and then once these come in sight, start attack moving that. Because if you watch this, what'll actually happen? They got one shot, killed like 2 drones, and then they're just gonna get cleaned up for free. You might get a blink, no. So if we go to everyone's vision. We'll move that back actually one more time too. Boom. One shot, took out 2 or 3. Even if you're not controlling this, but you just A-move onto a few of these drones. Second shot kills 3 right here. Third shot kills or puts 3 of them in the red. 4 shot? Yep, 4 shot will kill the next 3. So you could add 6 more drones there. Not the end of the world. And it's one of those things when you're kind of dealing with 2 places at once. Not the end of the world, especially like he's gonna focus. He has to focus on defending 2 places at once while you're attacking 2 places at once. But there was a little bit more efficiency there that could have happened. That would have put you really far ahead. Now, the most important thing at this point of the game is you've scouted pretty much 3 base saturation. You know it's saturated. Do you see gases? Let's see that. This is him. This is you. Yep, you do see gases. Or at least this one. I don't know if you see this one. Can I click over it? Okay, so since I can click it, you can see it. So you see no gases. I don't know if you've seen this yet, but you see 3 base saturation and maximum of like 3 gases. I think you did see this one earlier. Would be nice if you could see. You could have confirmed that. But you have to kind of think of what's going on. Also, he's making roaches. So 2 potential things that Zerg's doing. Either a big roach all-in, which 3 gases can do it. 4 would be like ideal, especially with this much drones. It wouldn't have many Ravagers. It would just be mostly all roaches, maybe with like maybe even Roach Ling, because just the low gas count. But with if you see all 4 of these gases are not taken, then and let's see, is this one taken? No. Okay. He does have the 2 in the main. He's getting that. Okay. With that, you know this probably isn't going to be a roach all-in. It's probably just safety roaches, and he's going to be looking to take another base really soon, and probably go up to Hive. But he could still do a less efficient roach all-in. We'll continue there. Can you repeat how would you have set that up? So with this stuff, what I would do, let me skip back. Now, with these on your side of the base, I would probably attack command, a move to like here-ish. Just that way if they come across a Ling or something, they at least shoot at it, Ling, drone, whatever. And then I would just move command. These, probably to behind the mineral line, that's just my preferred. It just feels safer to kind of escape without them getting stuck within the minerals. And if there's Lings, you can kind of like shove them right here, and the Lings can't really come through. There's roaches, it won't matter, but I would probably A move here, just so they attack anything going across, and then move command to back here. That does 2 things. One, if you never even touch it again, when stuff comes up to try to engage, they will like inherently just get between. They'll make sure the drones are between your Hellions and the things the Hellions are trying to shoot. But specifically, if you hit there and then just aim, like just hold down A shift and just click a drone, click a drone, click a drone, or click a few drones, click a few drones, click a few drones. Then you go over to the Banshee, and these things should just be doing the work for you. The other thing you could do is just A move this Banshee like right here, and then really just micro this, and kind of just right click on drones while you're moving like around the backside of the minerals. Then if you hear your army's under attack over here and you're just looking at the mini map, then you kind of just pull it back. But either way, A move command, then attack command on a few drone patches. You'll get a little bit more damage out of them. Yeah, so yeah, those 2 drones. Not what you wanted to get out of the Hellions. The other thing is with the different build kind of choice, these roaches aren't out yet, so you're feeling a little better there. So this Banshee's out. Yeah, so we're gonna play the game from here and see what you do. We're just gonna clear this out so we can land. That's good. I'd say this is gonna be a little bit of a sketchy situation. Looks like we are gonna go into mech. Nothing wrong with that. And especially if he's going roaches, like tank heavy mech sounds good. I like the couple cyclones. I think they're totally fine. They're probably a lot cheaper on gas. You make cyclones out of these? You cannot. I can't remember what patch we're on. With mech, maybe this should be a planetary. I don't know. He is taking a 4th. You do see this. So, unfortunately, you have really not much to pressure this. The one thing you do have, or you did have, oh, there's your Banshee. When you pull this back, I would probably just pull it back and then pull it up here. It's never going to get hit by a queen. It's never going to get hit by roaches because roaches can't hit him. So it'll do two things. It's either going to attack his fourth right away as he takes it. If he takes that one and not this one, you actually don't know if he has this one yet or not. Or it gets killed by Mutas. If it gets to get killed by Mutas flying over here, that's good information too. So you can just get a little bit more value out of this. If you wanted to bring it back and heal it up, that makes sense. You're still producing more of them, so you probably want to look at Hyperflight rotors eventually. But yeah, if you just kind of leave these out on the map against Zerg, sometimes they can do really well. Just keep them in places that you can retreat if Queen slowly starts wandering or something. And you could have delayed this if that was there. The sketchy thing is now he's taken 4 bases. You don't have an army to pressure it, so you were kind of in that mode of mech where it's like, okay, I gotta really hunker down here and wait for a good push. Maybe taking another, I would say, anytime you're floating over 400, especially in a situation like this, just make another CC. Drop it here. We'll float it over later and then make it planetary after. We need tanks. We need a lot of stuff actually. Just an unfortunate place to be. With this, what I like to do with or I like to see with the Viking is if you just move or attack move command all around your bases. You're gonna clean up the overlords, which is what your goal is anyway. But doing it in such a way, we're gonna talk about this for a second. Doing it in such a way that you make sure the Nidus overlords are taken care of first is important. You're gonna let this one ling kind of kill this. If it's 1 or 2 lings, just grab like 5 workers, attack move, and then right click and hit a mineral patch. They're gonna attack the Zergling. Once the Zergling dies, they'll go back to mining. No need to pull your entire army. And plus, it'll probably kill it before it kills this one worker, because the worker will die at this point before the army makes it over. If it was more of them, then definitely grab them all, run them away, and then pull over. Not the end of the world. Oh, it didn't actually kill that. Cool. Like this. I would like Banshees also patrolling around this area as well. But we're going for a push. This is a little sketchy. Luckily, everything's fast. That's the only reason why I like this. He does have this base too, so that's not good for us. That's really bad. Yeah. This is sketch. We'll stop for a second. Couple minor things. I like the Banshees earlier. Same reason why having it here, even if you're just patrolling a little bit, they can just kind of kill active creep tumors. You just gotta watch out for them. Make sure queens aren't there. If you have like 3 of them in a pack doing it, then the queens become less of an issue because you can kind of nuke them down. This attack, I'm not sure what you really intended to do here. You didn't know this was here. You might have known it, but you didn't. How do I say this? In game, you don't have this information. You might have decided that this information was there. Nidus Overlords being the overlords that can make Nidus worms. But yeah, this attack, these, especially the Hellions, right? Ooh, I like it. If they were an attack move, you could have killed that. You could have killed this one too. I like these being out on the map just because they're the fastest units on the map, since you know your opponent's going roaches. And of course, you can just leave them out on the map early game anyway. But mostly to deny creep. These Hellions will never be able to do anything to a building or any army units other than Zerglings. But taking out creep tumors is always nice. You just save a couple scans for that. These Cyclones a little bit back. Now, this is really kind of sketch here because the only thing that can actually engage any of this is your Cyclones and your Banshees, but you're actually running all this stuff in first. And you didn't know this base was here, so I'm assuming you were trying to have it all group up, and then you're going to go in here together through this little section. But it's just kind of an idea to keep an eye on your army, make sure your army doesn't split up. Maybe even just group it up here instead. So many lings that if these are just on attack move, they kill. But kind of running this all in first means like you're just going to have some of this die before the rest of it comes in. Also, these could be Hellbats if you're trying to attack. And by the time everything gets here, he's already not only seen it, but killed some of it, and makes it so you have to just kind of back out instantly. The other thing about not having the army come in first, he's unaware of it. You can have your damage dealing units do a little bit of damage first. Coming in here, I like killing the creep. I would like, yes, so this is good. I like the microing around in this kind of area. This isn't bad. This is a lot of roaches. You got to get it. Yeah, you're gonna lose most all of this. These Banshees can stay and fight. Like they should not be moving right now. Just let him attack and only control this stuff. Yeah, just like this, because he has nothing here that shoots up. This wall is kind of decent, but yeah, this not being a planetary is a little annoying, but not the end of the world. You're just gonna get run over here though. But main things I would talk about is that efficiency in the opener, kind of having that plan. Using the Hellions to gain map advantage early allows you to be able to, not have to build defenses and then come back up with that stuff after. And then the other thing is just trying to deny that third base as long as you can. This was a fifth base, but you thought it was a fourth. The being able to get vision, of course, if the Hellions are out earlier, they're poking around, they're going to get more information, even just based on what units your opponent's making, if you don't see buildings. But you just kind of let him, based on a little bit of inefficiencies and not scouting everything early, let him just get a whole bunch of bases early on, and he's going to have so much more money than you. And roaches are a great unit if your opponent just gets a ton more money than you and just kind of pushes across the map. You should clean this up eventually because Banshees, but like the damage is done. The game is not really in a winnable state from here. Should have lifted this so it didn't die. Minor mistake. I mean, it's a major mistake, but like it's not the important mistake. It's just me picking on you for something at this point. I like these chasing these back across, getting as much damage as they can. Get back off when you see that, because that's your only defense. And then back to macro ASAP. But if we look at like an income graph right now, yeah, I mean 57 workers, 105, and he's mining about double as fast as everything. Hey Sadler, thanks for the subscription. I appreciate that. I really do. Yeah. I think Cyclones probably fall off at this point of the game. I would like to see more tanks being made. Yeah. Let's see, what is upgrades like? That's units. G is upgrades? G is not the right ones, not the ones I want. So you're going defensive upgrades, okay. I don't really know how it usually goes. With tanks, you want to get, of course, damage because, well, they shoot far. Yeah, I mean, you're taking this engagement about as best as you can, forcing him to take a bunch of damage as he pushes up the ramp, but he just has so much more than you. The Banshees doing some decent work. He's not really transfusing very well. But yeah, that was a really good engagement. Unfortunately, if we look at the production tab, he's probably just... Actually, he's not even making anything. There it is. 5 hydras, 19 roaches, 4 queens, 20 roaches now. Like, he's able just to make that all at a time because he has the bases, he has the, whatchamacallit, he has the income. At this point, you took out the base, get out of the range of the spore crawler. I do like trying to take out the drones, though. But, really no reason to take damage from the static defense. Back home, we're making Banshees, we're making Hellions. It's decent there. We are starting to get a little bit more money. Okay. As you pull back, it went down because you just started some Cyclones. But, like, probably could have added on another... Oh, this is what it is. You just queued that up to take 400 away. But I'd say you can make another couple factories. I know you have a ton of factories, but... Yeah, another... Either 1 or 2 more factories or another starport. If you want like one star, there's a starport already. No, I would not say another starport. I was thinking a starport could give you Vikings, or if you get the battle cruiser tech, that wouldn't be a bad idea at this point either. But just gonna spend the money. You got quite a bit there. I like the expansion. You have the money, just take it. Just protecting this is gonna be tough, but we're kind of crawling back in this game. Should have been already dead, but. Taking out that base is nice. You know he's going to rebuild it because he has all the income. But at least he's going to stop some of his production. You really can't go out and push right now. This tank, I would have liked it if this would have moved. It just hasn't done anything all game. Hey, there's... Oh, nice job. Nice seeing those and getting those out of the way. I like the sensor tower. I kind of would have liked to see like one here and one here. Just give yourself more vision. Oh, he has a whole nother base here, too. These are on move command. Fortunately, didn't see this yet. These spines are kind of deadly. No, you're gonna get some good drone damage here. Yeah, it's not bad at all. Especially, yeah, I did not expect you to get that much done with all the spines, but yeah, that was very worth it. Good job. Should always be cutting back with Cyclones, even in a direct fight. They don't live long enough to stick around, especially with no tanks. Don't listen to Tech about drones. He hates making them. Thanks, Perch. Love it. Yeah. Okay, so he's got these coming across. Looks like you look like you want to take another fight. I agree because we're almost max, but our unit combination isn't great. I wish these were Hellbats and not just whatchamacallit, but they're not. This might be pushing a little bit too much. Just, I guess, yeah, no, this is probably fine. If you want to go check this base, because he did just clear his army, you know he's gonna like remax instantly. So that's where you want to be careful about getting caught on creep. A scan might have been nice just to clear the creep, so you could have escaped. Because right now this army's a little bit of a sitting duck. I do like taking out these macro hatches. You see he's just now taking that other expansion, which is really good. But yeah, here's all of a sudden the army is back again, and you're not going to win 2 fights with the same army. I know you're mech, but a couple of reinforcements. But yeah, he's eventually going to get a pretty decent surround. Overseers are finally here. You're actually doing a lot more damage than I expected with this, but it will get cleaned up. This stuff could get cleaned up if you're not careful. That yoink was totally unnecessary. Okay, it's coming back now. And let's see. Making planetary fortress walls. I like that. We are running out of income. All 3 of our bases are pretty much mined out. So we're going to look at taking a 4th, which you're doing that. Still a little bit late based on how many bases he has. And upgrades. So we just have +1 attack on the ground. Or is that might even be air, I don't know. But we have +3 like ground health thing. You definitely want to be getting getting some attack upgrades as well, because he's going to be way behind there. This guy is just crazy with his hatcheries. He's like campaign Zerg. Good scan. But yeah, lurkers are going to be the end of it, I think. I don't know what this is. Like that. The blinding cloud. Yep. And he's just going to push in at this point. We'll go to everyone's vision. Wow. He has every base on the map except for this one. Including this one's your base. And then these 4 are neutral. So this is not the time to be picking on you about anything. Like, the game was really out of hand a long time ago, and you're just doing the best you can to kind of hold on. You had like that push that was really good that kind of helped claw you back into it, but I would not be focusing on that time of the game. Like, if you have lost the game in the early game, don't focus on what happens at the end game, because it's just not important. You're going to be focusing on the wrong thing. You want to be in a better position at this point than where you are. So there's not a ton there. Yeah, like when they sniped the third, I'd say that's when the game was over. So I would focus on the beginning of the game to when they sniped your third more than this part of the game or any part after that, because you're already fighting at a major disadvantage. I don't know if you're ever going to be able to beat these. Yeah, perfect. Yeah. But I hope that's helpful. I would say the big things, kind of crisp up that opener. It's not even really crisping it up, but I think going for the Hellions early allows you to not have to spend so much in defense, which gets you better scouting early. It gets you your Banshee earlier. And then mid-game being able to scout, kind of push back the creep, just be a little more active with your army, because you do have the fast-moving army. Your army is not the good mech in that it's great at straight-up attacks. That's like your tank Thor, so that's the army that you want to just max up and kind of slow push across the map. You have the fast army that's really good at pushing back creep, doing some damage in places, disengaging. It doesn't really want to fight a ton of straight-on attack, straight-up fights. Unless you have like an advantage otherwise. So, decent game. Just those couple things, I think you'll see a big difference. You let him just take all the bases. That's what happens. Sandrix, thanks for the follow. I appreciate that. Other than that, I'll make sure to save this. That way you can kind of look back at it any time. But I'm glad you're there. Purge, I appreciate you stopping in as well. Yeah, the mobile army is supposed to transition to either tanks or Sky Terran at some point, or both, one after the other. Yeah, like, at some point you want to get a better unit combination for fighting. But that's all I got. Purge, I appreciate you jumping in as well, giving some advice. I know I'm not really a Terran. I can talk through some things, but I could talk more general game concepts than I can unit math and whatever. But that's it. I'm gonna play something pretty and I'm out of here. Boop.